Well, hello there, friends. This is Lindbergh of the Health and Fitness Motivation Podcast, and today we're going to talk about something pretty important. Yeah, it's the 3 pain in the butt things that happen every single week, and this is going to be one of your paths to happiness, one of your ways that you're going to make your life happier and easier to deal with and easier to cope with. And the reason we want to talk about that on a health and fitness motivation podcast is because sometimes it's harder for us to keep up with our health and fitness goals because we're overwhelmed with life. We're overwhelmed with all the little things, all the pain in the butt things we need to deal with, that every human needs to deal with, that we think, oh my gosh, I wish I wouldn't have to deal with these things. And then we get overwhelmed with that. And then we just kind of lose sight of what's really important to us because our brain is just hung up on all this other little stuff in addition to all the big stuff that's going on in our life. And so let me tell you just a little bit about what I mean by all those little things. Some of these are big things. Some of them are little things, but they all kind of tend to happen to us. And so I'm talking about those things that you say, I wish I didn't have to waste my life doing this thing. And here we go. Here's some things that have happened in my personal life just in the last couple of months. I mean, I had an unplanned move, wasn't planning on moving, but landlord sold the house where we were renting, so we had to move. In the middle of that, we had an unplanned family death. I almost broke my toe in the middle of all of that. Or maybe I did break my toe, I'm not sure, or fractured it, who knows. But anyhow, it's getting better now, but that was causing me grief for a while. I've had fatigue issues. I've had some pretty significant GI flare-up issues. If you don't know what GI issues are, consider yourself lucky. I've had a dog that's been annoying and a little bit clingy and begging me for treats and toys in the middle of all this craziness. School started, and if you're a parent nowadays with school, that's kind of a pain in the butt process. I mean, they tell you don't helicopter your kid, but then they give you like 12 things you're supposed to be doing with your kid and looking at, and it's just kind of a pain in the rear end. We moved into our new place, which of course, unpacking all the boxes, and then we had a trailer in our driveway, but then the neighborhood CC&R codes were like, you can't have a trailer in your driveway. And we're like, yeah, but we're still moving in. So anyhow, just pain in the butt thing, right? My back went out through all of this. I had some medical billing issues come up where I had to deal with those that were just screwed up. That's right. We all have to deal with that. My car got broken into. My dog's favorite toy ends up under the stupid couch all the time, and he whines like, what a pain in the butt. And and then when we were in between houses, when we had a couple of weeks where we had no home and we were vacationing, no complaints here, but we had a hard time finding a restaurant that would be open. I mean, talk about like, okay, we're trying to find a place to eat because we don't even have a home to go to eat. Yeah, pain in the butt stuff. We all have it. I'm sure you have your own list, probably even bigger than mine, of pain in the butt things we have to deal with. So here's what I do. It's all about mindset and reframing. I learned somewhere, and I think I actually made this up myself, but I don't know. Maybe somebody taught it to me. Surely somebody taught it to me. But I learned that every single week, part of the human experience is that you're going to have probably about 3 things happen each week that are a complete and total annoyance, a pain. They get in your way. They make you do things like you feel like you're wasting your life on it. Taxes. Oh my gosh, that's going to come up before we know it. I mean, all kinds of things. And that's part of just being human and adulting. And so when I learned to reframe it and say, you know what, this is just part of life. And I can either let it wreck my day and I can complain about it and say, oh, I got to do this. Oh, my car got broken into. I could be like, okay, well, that happened. That was not what I wanted to happen, but I'm just going to deal with it and move along. Now, one of the things that helps to deal with that is, first of all, just recognize it. Second of all, get radically pragmatic and really what we call objective about it. because much of the time, not always, but much of the time, the things that we get super annoyed about are actually things that only take a couple minutes of our time. So like, for example, I know we all know this one, medical billing when it gets screwed up. So annoying. Now, this is not true. Sometimes people have huge medical billing experiences, but I have one where I've been dealing with it for 6 months. And I could say, oh my gosh, I've been dealing with it for 6 months and it's so screwed up. What's actually happened is the medical bill got screwed up. I have placed 4 different phone calls that are all about 3 minutes long over 6 months. So there is that mental like, oh, I have to do this. But then 4 calls, 3 minutes each. That's only about 12 minutes of my actual time. Yeah, when I frame it that way, 12 minutes, that's really not a big deal. It's just a thing to get done. So I really look at what is that actual impact, and should I obsess about it, or should I just let it float away? And that really helps me a lot. I'm also a big to-do lister, and I love my to-do lists, and I'll go through and I'll just bang out as many to-dos as I can. And sometimes it takes me an hour to put my to-do list together, and then I can bang out most of it in an hour. But anyhow, 3 things: the hangnail, the car repairs, the getting sick, all those things. Just really ask yourself, how big of an impact is this really? Do I really have it? I've got it. You've got it. You've got it in you to get through and break through so much more than you think you can. And then on the other side of breaking through it, you've got more space for you and all the things you love, and you can focus your attention on that. So friends, think about all of the pain in the butt things you've got to do and just plow through them, be done with it, and don't let them wreck your life. Alrighty, friends. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye now.